honestly, Ted was just happy because when he got there, there were
Yeah.
cold sandwiches and hot chocolate. And if you want to make Ted happy, that's the two things you got to
There's
have.
lots of opportunities for work. Ted was really excited about that.
Oh,
He's like, oh, the golden opportunity. Here's my chance to pull myself up from my bootstraps.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
I'm
pull
gonna do it.
myself.
I'm
I'm gonna
gonna do
pull
it.
myself up from my bootstraps.
I'm gonna pull myself up from my bootstraps. I'm Ted Cruz.
We love you, Ted. We're sorry you're not here, so we've told you it's open season on you if you don't show up.
Yeah.
You can always just be here to defend yourself, and
Jeez.
he's gonna have a armful of zingers for us when he gets back.
Ladies, gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary, welcome to Girl Dick with Ted Cruz, starring Lilith Electra Zarling, Amanda Bonanza, and esteemed Republican Senator from the great state of Texas, your host, Ted Theodore Cruz.
I will write that joke on Wednesday.
Doesn't Dennis Miller not Ted Cruz?
They're all the same person.
Oh, fuck. What, I mean, that plays into that. This is all just a simulation, and like,
Ted,
yeah, everyone to the right of Biden is just the same person with a different skin.
Dennis Miller is just three Ted Cruzes in a Ted coat.
It's just what, yeah, three. You know what? Three Dennis Millers in an ape suit. That's your Sean Hannity right there.
I don't know. How many Dennis Millers does it take to make a Tucker Carlson? What's the Dennis Miller to Tucker Carlson ratio?
It's three Dennis Millers wrapped up in his mom's money.
It's like you have to get the British baking conversion table.
He turned us down. Ted Cruz.
Hey
was
Google,
here
how
for it.
many Dennis Millers in a Tucker Carlson? Hey Google. Oh shit!
Don't type that in because now
No, my
it's
phone
in
my
the
phone
universe.
is looking for it. No, stop. I did trigger it.
All the things that have been triggered now. Porn with
I
Dennis
know they're
Miller
so
and
easily
Tucker
triggered.
Carlson.
Those conservatives.
Oh my god.
Google's so easily triggered because it's made by the left.
The left.
It's the left made Google. That's why it's a snowflake. Google's a snowflake. God, there's mermaids can't be black.
Here's the deal. We've been talking. This has been a topic of discussion here in the house. First of all, if mermaids were real, they would be extremely blubbery and overweight because they're living in the water. Like they'd be like a whale or a walrus.
Well,
Two, they would have dark skin to absorb the sun to keep warm, unless they were so far down that they become, fluorescent and phosphorant and stuff. But then we'd never see them because they're so far down. But also, you know, you got y'all. They all think he's white, and he's clearly not from the part of the world that would make you a white person. So this is all. I also don't know like how you see videos of like little children seeing that the Little Mermaid is black and just being so excited about it, and then be just like, this should not be happening. Like, because you're just a bad person.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Like,
racists are bad people.
There's no point of arguing it. It's just like, you're a bad person. I don't have to argue with you about this.
No, of course not. But I mean, what gets me is like, I mean, I was just so shocked to find out that the people that hate black people are upset that a black person is that the Little Mermaid's black. It's like, who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed that they were
upset? It's like all these people that just hate black people, like, are just I thought they would have been thrilled for a black Little Mermaid, like, but it turns out they're not. Like, it's like, oh,
I just can't. I didn't even know there was a new Little Mermaid coming out. So this has been like the greatest advertising in the history of movies.
I didn't know about it either.
But that has to do with the fact that I'm 52 years old. I'm not really a big fan of Disney.
Well, and I'm also not a 10-year-old. Like, and that's the other thing that's like wild is like, it's like these are like 42-year-old men in pickup trucks that like are roofers, and they're just angry about a kids movie. It's like Why do you care? Like why are you watching children's movies? It's
Well,
like
I
I
know
guess they
Matt.
probably have kids, but like
I know Matt Gates is mad because he's gonna have to watch it with his girlfriend.
yeah, not Gates.
So,
Jesus, this fat fucking guy. Hey, so this is Girl Dick with Ted Cruz. I'm Amanda Bonanza.
I'm Lilith Darling.
Yeah, and we're gonna do this thing. Do you want to answer questions?
Yeah, I got a couple good ones here. And again, some of them are questions, and some of them are just like, here's a statement that I would like people to respond to. So,
Oh yeah, that's legit.
yeah. So, this person, this is something I think like they kind of responded to it in their post, but I think it's something we should always talk about. And it says the title is just you're not a fraud and you're not faking it. Recently, I've seen a lot of posts from various trans-related subs about people fearing that they might not be trans because they don't experience dysphoria from the genitals, or they don't mind that much when someone misgenders them, or because they do or don't relate to memes. That last one, I've never felt I was faking trans because I wasn't relating to a meme.
I don't. I mean, the whole first part I agreed with, but when
Yeah.
it comes to memes, if you're not getting memes, like maybe you aren't trans. Like I don't know. It's like, I was about to be like, yep, validity, no wrong way to be trans, yep, everything. But if you don't relate to memes, ooh, I don't know. It's pretty important. I mean, I don't even know if you're human at that point in the sense, like, because I don't think. Well,
to be fair,
I mean,
I don't relate to much on this planet,
Caitlyn Jenner's definitely trans, and she clearly doesn't relate to memes. Like, but I don't know that.
I don't know, but I think it's just important to say because like I think one thing that frustrates me, especially in the trans community, is that like I always feel like we're here, we're all struggling, and then to see that there are trans people who are still gatekeeping, and it's just like, will you shut the? I had one the other day I saw, and this girl was just like, if you're gonna be trans and like you're gonna go out, you know, dressed up, like at least do us all a favor and talk. And I was just like, fuck you.
And what?
Talk. And I was like, fuck you. If you don't want to talk, don't
Yeah,
talk.
fuck you.
Like
Fuck you.
you
I don't talk.
you live the life the way you want to live it, and your job is not to like make the rest of the world comfortable. Your job is to exist, and if people want to deal with that, then that's on them. And then this lady's like, I understand that, but I'm just saying, it's like people reading all this, like just ignore the person above me. Like this lady has no idea what she's talking about. You be trans the way you want to be trans, and it goes back to the thing I always say. It's like as soon as you fix that, not fix, but as soon as you change your mindset from like I am trying to be a woman, I am trying to be a man, it's just like I'm trying to be comfortable with myself and I'm trying to find my identity and who I am. That's like the real big shift. And anyone who comes in and gatekeeping is just putting blocks in front of other people to do that, and it's just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is there's plenty of gatekeeping outside of the trans community. We don't need it inside of it. And it's like I think there's a name for that. If I'm right, it's truscum. Am I right?
I've seen that, but I've never.
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from, but I've heard that term, and that's pretty much like trans people that like are super like gatekeeping and like have all these standards for like being trans. Like you're not trans if you're not dysphoric. Like, you can't be trans if you don't check these 17 boxes that I made up. Like,
you don't play Fallout New Vegas?
Well,
you can't be. I mean,
I did. I played a lot of Fallout New Vegas.
Same.
I sure did. I played that game so many times. I don't know exactly like what that has to do with being trans, but like it's so real.
Yeah, I was like, I played a bunch of Fallout games. That was the best one and the one I enjoyed the most.
It was.
And then all of a sudden, everyone's just like, yeah. I'm like, wait, I don't remember anything in that game. Specifically.
No, there wasn't anything especially. I mean, you could cross-dress, but that's about it. I mean, you can do that in just about every game. Like, but I think it's just like a thing that caught on. Like, it's like someone, you know,
It's also could be just a good game, and people who play games like New Vegas, and so
and are trans.
I mean, trans people learn to play video games.
Yeah,
I mean, if
sorry.
anything, it's just like, what if there was a way for you just to escape the life that you're in and be another character and go have adventures? You'd be like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. Why do you always a girl in video games? I don't know. I just am. Yeah.
I'm Ms. Pac-Man. Thank you very much.
Ms. Pac-Man. Yeah. Careful. Careful. You'll turn on Tucker Carlson.
Oh my god. And why? Why did we get rid of Ms. Pac-Man? Tucker Carlson's attracted to sexy M&Ms, so
Yeah, he's yeah, I don't know. I fucking Tucker Carlson. Like, nothing is as that guy seems. All he is a complete money whore. He will do anything and say anything for money. That's all
yeah.
he is. He is a complete empty vessel. Like, it's like, well, not completely, because what is filled in that vessel is just like super fucking deep rooted.
Oh, he has all these,
He's
all
just
these different,
such
all
a
these
fucking
different,
old school racist.
all these different programs for the
Uh,
different faces he makes on his program.
It's like when Jon Stewart like made fun of him so hard that his bow tie disintegrated.
That they canceled his show.
Oh, yeah,
CNN was just like,
fucking
yeah,
dope.
fuck this.
And now it's like Jon Stewart's like retired and like working on a farm and looks like he's 100. Tucker Carlson's like the most watched person in the country, and it's just like, Tucker Carlson, yeah, Jon Stewart, you do look 100. He does look not great right now. I mean, he looks fine. He's fine. He's Jon Stewart. He's not straight, like, but like, yeah.
But I think
he looks a lot older than Tucker Carlson, like a lot.
That's another part with things like this, though, where it's like, yeah, Tucker Carlson's out there, all these assholes are out there. Why are you over here, making trans girls who don't want to tuck feel bad when you could just
make fun of Tucker Carlson?
Make fun of
Yeah,
Tucker
you could just
Carlson.
why don't you go make fun of Tucker Carlson? Like, yeah, what are you doing?
We made fun of him so much he stopped wearing the bow tie, so it works.
Yeah,
it works.
I hate it when like horrible people are good looking. Like, I mean, Tucker Carlson, he's kind of good looking. Like,
no, what?
He has, but who's worse is like, I feel terrible about this.
Yeah.
Is the guy who actually is good looking that's the worst is fucking Gavin McInnes. Like, Gavin McInnes, the fucking Proud Boy that founded Vice.
Okay.
And like, he's the worst human being. He's a fucking Nazi piece of shit. He's terrible. I hate his guts. Fuck, he looks good. He's just fucking put together. He's just like, damn, it's not fair. You're not supposed to look good. You're supposed to be hideous like your soul. But he's got some Dorian Gray shit going on where it's just like, well, fuck.
Hey, he's not really my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame you.
Yeah.
He's pretty a wretched human being, but like, it's just, I don't know. Which Nazi right winger do you find attractive? You more of a Mitch McConnell girl?
Ugh.
Oh shit.
Mitch McConnell, like, that's like the devolution of man. Is like, you start out as like you start out as like this big buff dark-haired dude, and then you slowly devolve to Tucker Carlson, and then you slowly devolve to Mitch McConnell, and then you slowly just devolve into a reptile.
Like, you're just a skeleton, just a racist skeleton.
It's like an Animorphs cover, and it's like a turtle at the bottom, and like Mitch McConnell, Tucker Carlson, and then the guy who plays Superman.
Who's that? Is that Casey Affleck?
Casey Affleck is a whole other Animorph.
But short story long, it's super okay to just be trans however you want. Like, I don't even remember the meat of the question here. I think we got.
It's just like people worrying that they're faking it, because you see it all the time, and I'm always
The other
thing is, I think, is if you think it is, like, explore it, and if you feel like after 2 months, like, you tried, going out and doing whatever, and you realize not for you can always just go back and not do it. It's explore your gender, explore who you are, and find that find that place where you exist, gender-wise.
It's true. It's like there aren't really any hard and fast rules to it, and I think that's a thing that a lot of trans people get tripped up on, because I mean it is like it just is a confusing thing. It really is, because it's part of it's like such a blend of nature and nurture, because it's just but like where nature and nurture are in direct conflict with each other, and it's just like this. And
Yeah.
it's like it's just I mean it's just hard being trans in the first place, but it's like it's hard on so many levels, because it is confusing. It just is like it's like I get it why cis people get frustrated and unruly, because it is confusing. It's a kind of a jumbly mess where it's like it doesn't there's no rigid definitions of anything, and like it's like,
Yeah.
well, if it feels good, do it, kind of sort of thing. And like, but that's hard for people to even parse, because like so many people have been conditioned in so many different ways, and usually not for the good, not for good.
Right.
Like, and usually, and with trans people in particular, not in accordance with their nature. And so it's like, so it is tricky, because like it's like you're trying to find this identity, and like you're battling your way out of like all these layers of of defense mechanisms that you've built up over a lifetime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also a thing where it's just like that's probably why there's so much pushback. It's like, well, you all are just going to go out and define yourself and do whatever you want. And it's like we have two definitions: you're either one or you're two. And it's like, no, I'm going to see where I'm going to define myself, and I'm going to find that for myself. And of course, there's going to be pushback to that, but it's also like you're allowed to do that. And if you think you're a trans male or trans female and you want to like however you want to express it, and you want to express it, and then 2 months later you realize like, oh man, this is not who I am, uh then that's fine.
It's okay to
It's
change your
okay.
name. It's okay to change your pronouns. Like it's okay. Like you have it is you do have to try things on to see what fits, and it takes a minute. There's nothing fast about transitioning. It's not a quick process. It's a
Yeah.
long, slow, involved, years long ordeal where you get somewhere eventually. And it's different for everybody. Some people know who they are right away. Some people are just like finally, free, and like, and then some people, it takes them, they go around in big circles and they do loop-de-loops, and they
Yeah.
go back and forth and they try stuff on. They're like, oh, I'm non-binary, oh, I'm gender fluid, oh, I'm not, I'm super femme, oh, I'm masked, oh, I'm butch, like whatever. It's like it doesn't, none of it's bad. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's just you have to do that stuff to get there, like to find out.
I think it's also like that's what life is just like an
Right.
exploration of who you are, discovering who you are. Like if you're going to ask me like what is the meaning of life, and choice A is an exploration of what it means to be human and to find your best self and be happy, or B, work at Walmart for 30 years and then die the day after you retire. Man, that maybe, but I really think it's this choice first. I really think it is about an exploration of who you are and what makes you happy and where you are in your life. And Walmart probably is the most unnatural thing there is. It shouldn't exist, but here we are.
I don't know. Option B sounds pretty good though. Yeah, think of it. Like you can work at Walmart your whole life and then you die.
The day after you
Fucking-
retire, because if you
then
die
you're
the day
done.
you're supposed to retire, they'll just keep working around your body.
Ain't
It's
no one
very
retires from Walmart, hon. That's not a thing.
You think you'll make enough to retire?
Yeah.
Please do us the service of dying on your off day. Thank you.
Yeah. We're gonna have to dock your pay. You cannot die. You have to be at work.
Those guys, those Walmart dudes own so much shit.
Walmart's a weird place because, like, I mean, they are a corporation in the end, and they do kind of the corporations have this innate not necessarily sense of like which way the wind is blowing, but which way the money blows. And I've heard some stories in the trans community where like Walmart's one of the places where it's like I heard about a girl that just got a job at Walmart, and like they had her dead name on her name tag, like because that was what her paperwork said. She didn't
Yeah.
get it legally changed, and like she'd been there 3 days, and like they gave her a new one with her correct name, and like she was like, and they had a little thing and a little party for her. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's Walmart. It's like, oh, okay, that's nice to hear. Like at Walmart that happened. Like plenty of places where that wouldn't have happened, where they have been like, no, you have to have your paperwork named here. Like, it's like, that's less and less now, but like you just never know. And then I'll tell you the other thing is Walmart's the only place I can find. Well, Walmart, there's one other place, but Walmart, I was surprised to find that they had women's shoes that went up to size 14. And I'm at 12. Like every store stops at 11. And so like finding shoes that fit is like, it's like a nightmare. It's like being a left-handed guitar player. It's like you can see all the things that you'll never have. Like you can't have that. Like, oh, those shoes are cute. They go up to just a size that they'll never fit you.
Oh,
You'll never have those shoes.
You were talking about like what's my go-to dysphoria hitting? It's like seeing a pair of shoes I want and seeing it's like 10 and a half. And I'm like, oh, I can get 3/4 of my foot into that.
Yeah, I know it's rough. It's like, I mean, I have no idea what trans women or even just large, tall women, because it's like, it's not, I mean, yeah, I like trans women tend to be bigger, but like, I mean, there's cis women that are taller than me. I've met them. Like, it's like, it's like, what the fuck did they do before the internet? What did anyone do? Like, how did anyone get shoes? I guess they just had to wear men's shoes, I guess. Like, it's like, I don't have any idea how that worked. Like, and it's just like, I mean, thank God for like, Amazon. I mean, I hate, I've got my problems with Amazon, but if they have everything. They have everything, and you can return it. Like, I mean, I have to buy 8 pairs of shoes before I find one that fits, but eventually I get it. I got a pair of shoes. I got a nice pair of cowboy boots that I just finally got, like, after like, I've been wrestling with my footwear since May. And I finally got this pair of boots that like fits and looks good. And I was like, oh, thank God, they're comfortable. It's like, oh, good. These are going to last me a couple of years. So now I know I can find them. I've got them pinned. But,
cowboy boots, huh?
I love cowboy boots.
See, I got a pair of Doc Martens. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I can't do the Dr. Martens. That's all too.
Dr. Martin.
Well, that's what they call themselves now.
Okay.
They've been on Dr. Martens for like 15 years, honey.
Doc Martens.
Sorry.
Doc Martens, so I'll be Doc Martens. So
yeah, you're Doc Martens. Yeah.
I also have a pair of Doc Martens sandals.
That's what they said at the ska show. Like, go back to the Aquabats show, Lilith.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Aquabats are fucking cool.
Let's Go Bowling is opening for the Aquabats. I'm there.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty dope.
I am also not a huge ska person.
No.
Like that's the kind of music ska is. Just joking. Someone says you should go to a ska show. You've got to be like, oh, hold on. No, I am not going to a ska show.
I wouldn't say I was ever like into ska, but like, I mean, I was around it like in the 90s, like when it was
in the 90s,
and, like,
we were all around it,
and I liked it.
Yeah.
Like I had. Well, I'll tell you about this another time. This isn't podcast stuff, but I did when I was looking for a place in Seattle, there was an apartment building called the Mad Flats. Like, I wrote a ska song for it because it's like, well, you gotta. I think like the guy, like they even had a guy on their logo that looked like a skanking dude with like the hat, like the sunglasses, and just like his elbows up. He's just like, hey, come on over. You want to live in the Mad Flats, eh?
What accent was that?
It's like the British Jamaican hybrid.
Don't ever do that again.
Don't? Was it offensive and bad?
I don't think it
Or
was
was it just,
offensive. It was
was
just
it
bad.
funny? Because I thought it was pretty funny.
Not what I was thinking of when it comes to Sky accents. I was just thinking about like Mighty Mighty Bosstones or something like that. Something
I don't
down.
even know. I don't even know how they talk. I mean, they're just like Boston guys.
Swear to God, we're gonna get skanking up in
Swear to
here.
God, you get
Swear to
wicked.
God.
We got a wicked skank up in here. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up already, huh?
Once again, we have strolled so far off guard. Someone came to us with asking for legitimate advice, and we ended up making fun of the Mighty Mighty Bosstones.
But I have to tell you, now that we brought it up, now we're well deep into this rabbit hole. I was at a bar and I ran into the most Boston couple I've ever met. They were like a brother and a sister, but they were from Boston, and they were the most Boston people I've ever seen Boston before. Like the dude just had like the Red Sox hat, and like I think he was wearing like a red and he had like the checkered Vans, and like just like he just was Boston. And what topped it off was he was arguing with his sister, who was also from Boston, about who was the best sports franchise of all time, the Red Sox or the Patriots. Except they were agreeing and they were yelling about it.
Still arguing.
They were arguing while in complete 100% agreement. It's like, that's what I'm saying. The Patriots are the best football team in the history of football, and the Red Sox are the best baseball team ever. And she was like, fuck you, the Red Sox are the best baseball team.
Yeah.
I've never been to Boston.
I've been to Boston once. I performed there. I did a festival there. It was nice.
I mean, you're not too far from it. You're in Virginia. Virginia's not close to Boston, but like
It's about an 11-hour drive.
Yeah, I know everything's so much closer out there. It's wild. Like out here, it's like the closest city. Well, I mean, the closest city. Well, I guess Tacoma. I don't know. It doesn't matter. None of this is important. I'm cutting it out. This is stupid. I'm cutting this. This is the worst. The worst. I guess it's nerded out on a U.S. map.
Oh my God. I have one piece of hair that is stuck to my lipstick. There we go.
Oh God, yeah, this is all getting cut. This is the worst. This is the worst we've ever done.
This is the most off course this ship has ever been.
Holy bajolies. No, thank you.
All right.
Bad radio. Bad radio.
There's no such thing as bad radio. Just dead silence is the only bad. The bad radio.
Yeah. Yeah, we can cut that out too.
Yeah.
Cut out the fat. We can George Foreman.
Yeah.
We can George Foreman grill.
Yeah. What you got for me? What you got for me?
I got a question. So it's not too far from the one that you brought to the table here. It's like, can I be feminine if I'm a trans guy?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Hi. So I came here to ask a question. Can I be feminine if I'm a trans guy? I'm female to male, and while I mostly like to present masculine or androgynous, there are times where I like to dress or act feminine as well. Is that all right? I'm worried I'll be invalid if I am, and I don't want to be considered a girl when I'm not. So is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Totally
David Bowie says it's okay. If it's okay with David Bowie, it's okay with me.
Yeah.
And it goes back to like we said, it's all about, expressing yourself and finding the place where you feel you are and who you are and being that person, as opposed to fitting into, option 1 or 2. You're male or female. It's like, you can be whoever you want. Clothes don't have gender. There's always like those clothes. Like, is it a woman's clothes? I mean,
some clothes are pretty solidly gendered. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that statement. Like, it's like, and you can be of one gender and wear clothes that are specifically designed for another gender. But like,
just clothes
are clothes. But I mean, like, I it's hard for me to like, but I there's definitely a difference.
Disagree with me. I'm right. Clothes are just clothes.
No, you are right, but I mean in the sense that like, yes, you can either put on like a 3-piece men's business suit, or you could just wrap yourself in a sheet like Gandhi, and they're both clothes, but like they're different. Like, so you could dress like, in a bra and spike heels, and like, you could wear that to the office, if you're a male executive, but like, you probably won't stay a male executive.
But men used to wear heels.
That's true.
Scotsman wears kilts, and honestly, dresses. I mean, dresses are made to be worn if you got male junk. Like, you want it to be free down there. You don't need it baking in a pair of pants on a hot day. Just let it out. Like, it's made for it. It's like, what's fucked up is, it's the same thing when people ask me, like, if you could be cis instead of trans, would you? It's like, I don't want to change myself. I don't want to change who I am. Society should accept these things. It's just like, yeah, men can wear dresses. It's more dresses are so much more comfortable. Like, can we even get into this? Like, come on.
We can definitely get into this because dresses are immeasurably more comfortable, but women's clothes are just more comfortable. But you know why? Because I'm a fucking woman. Like, women's clothes are more comfortable, but they're not more comfortable when you're not a woman. Like, and that's the thing, is they're cut for women. Women's clothes are cut for women's bodies, and like, it's like, we've got boobs and like smaller waists and like bigger butts, and like, and that's like how the things are cut. Like, before, when I had like a more male body, like, it's just, I would wear women's clothes and they look not as good because they don't look as good on a male frame than they do on a women's frame.
I mean,
but I still like to wear them because I'm trans.
Yeah, all my dresses. In my dresses, I look like when you buy like a Pillsbury biscuit thing and you pop it and it just kind of seeps out through the seams. Like, that's what I look like in a dress. It's just like blip. It's like,
honey,
press right here, and then all the poof, the dough comes out.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so all right there. Yeah,
that's
that little part of the dough coming out. But yeah, that's, I mean, but now you're talking about, yeah, if I had a custom tailored dress that fit me perfectly, then yes, that's a dress for me. But in general, dresses, like, clothes, don't have a gender, and society changes, and
that second part's right. Society changes, and what's acceptable and non-acceptable evolves and changes, but clothes are definitely gendered. If they're not, I mean, clothes don't have a gender in the sense that like they're clothes, they're not reproductive creatures, but like but
the same thing with toys. Toys don't have a gender. Like, everything you're talking about, I think you're agreeing with me. We're like the boss.
I agree with you to a point. We're arguing semantics, is what we're doing.
Because everything you're saying is, yes, society is putting this on clothes and on
true.
Toys. The clothes and toys are gender free.
The people that make the clothes and toys are specifically targeting a particular.
How could you make a toy gun just for boys? Because women teachers are going to need to have.
Well, they don't make them just for boys, but they're definitely aiming them at boys.
Whoa, watch. They're aiming their toys.
Well, you set me up for a foot and mouth trap there. You should be arrested. Thanks a lot, Lilith. It's your honey pot.
Can I say, the dough is sticky.
Jane Bond over there. That's fucking tripping me right up.
That was a good one.
Setting me up like a fucking domino. Yeah.
But back to the original question, it's like, you should exist in the moment the way you feel, and if that feels one day you want to put on makeup and wear a dress, then you should do that. Some of my best friends are trans women who have beards, and and I would say I have a thing with my facial hair, but I'm not trying to change my voice and things like that. And I think you just have to be unapologetically you. And if that means that you're growing a full beard and you're going out in a dress and high heels, and you fucking live that life. And if the next day you feel like wearing, basketball shorts and a tank top, then do that as well. And you're valid each time. Now, how other people react, like we've said this before on this show, you can't control how other people react to you. You might get some blowback, but you have to live for yourself, and you can't check
Absolutely.
yourself for other people's comfort. And just realize that if you do get that blowback, your true friends will stick with you. Your true friends will know what's up when you talk to them, and they'll be fine. And anyone else, they can just go, because you're going to find new true friends who accept you for who you are.
It is true. I mean, and everything Lilith said is right. 'Cause it's like
Thank you.
that's something is there's no rules here. It's like you can be whoever you want to be whenever you want to be. And like it's funny because like it did take that concept being like reinforced to me before I really got it, because I didn't think in those terms really before. I was like, oh, there are rules. It's like there aren't really rules.
Yeah.
But you think there are rules, and like it's but now that like it's this weird thing where like once I've stepped out into the light, and like it's like, oh, and you see that, oh no, you can just do whatever you want, and none of that matters. Then when you hear the people asking these questions, that is just like, well, of course you can do whatever you want, of course it's okay, but they don't know it because they haven't they're just it's just like there's so much disinformation or just lack of information out there, like even in this day and age that's where there's so much information out there, it's still hard to access, and it's still hard to find, and it's just there's so many dissenting things, and it's just so convoluted. But like in the end, like it's like, yeah, there's no wrong, like Lilith said, you just got to be you. But that and finding that is a big part of it. That's a big part of transitioning, because it's like
Yeah.
it's not just the HRT, it's also the attitude shift, it's the opening up your soul, it's the embracing your true self, but it's also aging, and it's also the world's changing around you at the same time, and it's like you can't detangle that spaghetti, it's all together, and the transitioning is such a long, lengthy, slow, gradual process that like time plays a huge factor in it. Like whether you're transitioning or not, no one's the same person that they were 2 years ago. Like it's like that's just not a thing. Like it's those changes are generally a lot more drastic, like
I
visibly
would say
drastic
that.
for trans people, but like for someone going through a transition, but not necessarily. I mean, like it's like, I mean, look at our friend Ted Cruz. Like
I was just
two
gonna
years
say.
ago, he didn't have a beard, and like
No,
now he has a beard.
he's still the same piece of shit, though.
Oh, but the one thing that didn't change about Ted Cruz is his absolute love of freedom. As that's what didn't change about Ted Cruz. He fucking loves freedom so fucking hard.
Sometimes he like just gets into talking about freedom, and you're like, oh, okay,
like,
guy, we get it.
Ted, stop talking about freedom all the time, Ted. It's just like, I fucking love freedom. Fuck that freedom. Fuck it. Fuck it.
That is true terror.
I want to have sex with that freedom. I want to have sex with it. I have sex with that freedom. I think that freedom very much. I kind of like it. I like it really a lot.
Hey, if you don't want to fuck freedom,
that's kind of more what it's like.
Yeah, if you don't want to fuck freedom, why don't you leave the country?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to fuck freedom, then get the fuck out. That's what I say. Get the fuck out.
You can go to some place like random that's not definitely just like a talking point country like Venezuela, and
exactly.
Fuck socialism,
Yeah, where they don't have Fruit Loops in Venezuela because of communism.
Is that it? I thought that they didn't have a word for fruit.
They don't have a word for fruit in South America.
They're just like loops.
It's like Dole came in and took it all, and they're like,
That's a proprietary.
we've never seen it. Like
These are
Dole's been here since
proprietary
before.
words.
United Fruit's been it's just United.
United Cash.
United, yeah. Like they came and they just took everything.
They took everything. They even took the words for fruit.
And with that, I feel like we should sign off. I think and with that, thanks for listening to Girl Dick with Ted Cruz.
You have to go look at what the title of the podcast was.
No, I just had to like I was looking like into my inner monologue. Like I was like I was like a look like to like inner reflection, like this one. I don't even know if that look. I can't tell because I'm looking in a weird direction. I can see
it. It is weird. You can never see yourself looking. Yeah,
just looking like this. That's all it was. It was just one of these.
Well, you were basically trying to do that NPR out where it's like, she's Amanda Bonanza and I've been Lilith Darling. Thank you for joining us on the Girl Dick with Ted Cruz. Good night, everyone.